Hey guys, and welcome to Vlogtober day 30. Kind of spooky having my third grade body over there. But we are going to be kind of making my TBR for November today. This is quite a big stack, but I mean, I read usually about 10 books a month here. So we have my romance pick for my 5-star prediction project, and that is Heard It in a Love Song by Tracy Garvish Graves. Lots of G's there. And I got this 30% off, so that's nice. But this is Love Doesn't Always Wait Until You're Ready. Equally cautious and confused about dating in a world that favors apps over meeting organically, Layla and Josh decide to be friends with the potential for something more. Sounds sensible, way too simple, but when two people are on the rebound, is it heartbreak or happiness? That's a love song away. I love at least writing stories of people who are rebounding on each other. I think it's just an interesting dynamic. Personally, I wouldn't do that because I don't know, like I just wouldn't do that, but I think it's interesting when characters do it and just the emotions that are all involved there. And then this is about a musician finding love after a long marriage. And one of my favorite authors did blurb this, being Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I'm sure y'all have heard of some of the other authors who have blurbed this. But it's more of, I don't think this is like your happy-go-lucky romance, because it doesn't have one of those like drawing covers, cute covers. I don't know, like this does look like a drawing, but you all know what I mean. The little cutesy, colorful covers. I really like this cover though, it's really beautiful. So that is for my 5-star prediction. And then we have my ebook. So this is so it is nonfiction November, so I am focusing a lot on nonfiction for my mood reading. And for my ebook, I go and look for the longest, whatever genre it's going to be. So this month, nonfiction book on my TBR, and that is this one, The Story of the Great War, 1914 to 1918, A World Undone. Totally didn't say the title, by G.J. Meyer. This is quite the hefty one. Okay, it's in like the 600 page range, which is the book I'm reading that I read in October, and Osprey 2 was in the same length. So this is just a nonfiction about World War I. So those two are confirmed. Those are going to happen. So then we have my mood reading picks where these might happen, but it's not a necessary thing. I don't have to read these. And I am doing a try the first chapter tag tomorrow. I'm debating if I should do the try the first line of a book, first and last line, or if I should do just the first chapter, because I feel like with nonfiction it can be kind of difficult because sometimes a nonfiction chapter is going to be very long. But the first book I have here is The White Album by Joan Didion. This is an essay collection first published in 1979. Really it's about examining the 1960s and the aftermaths of what all these social movements and whatnot in the 1960s did to America, if they had a lasting impact, as this is coming almost 20 years later since the start of the 1960s. So Joan Didion's an author that I've really wanted to get to, and looking at this, it says like when this book was printed she was still alive but has sadly passed. But I know a lot of people love Joan Didion, and I think I will. Just some of the quotes I've read by her I've thought have been beautifully written. Then we have more of a pop culture one, and that is Stranger Things in the 80s, A Complete Retro Guide by Joseph Vogel. So this is actually funny. I got this for my birthday in 2019, and my dad didn't even know this was a book that was on my radar, and he bought it for me. So this is just talking about the references that are made in Stranger Things, or where the writers of Stranger Things saw inspiration, like how they've been inspired by Spielberg and Stephen King, and just other 80s movies and music. This did come out in 2018, so this isn't going to be totally up to date, as we have had season 4 come out. I'm not sure when season 3 came out. What's that, 2019? Don't know. Pandemic years, they're crazy. So I knew those two were ones that I wanted to get to. Then I had to go find 2 more, because I usually read 3 to 4 mood reading picks. Yeah, usually around 4 mood reading picks a month. So I found 3 Women by Lisa Taddeo, and this was my book of the month pick in July 2019. So this is Desire as We've Never Seen It Before, a riveting true story about the sex lives of three real American women based on nearly a decade of reporting. So this is seeing people from all over the United States, because sex is such a taboo thing that shouldn't be, because it is one of the most natural things ever. It's how the majority of us are here, because there is science, but it's a topic that everybody's experience is so different with, but as I said, it's the root to humanity, so it should be interesting just and seeing how different regions of the United States, what the stigmas around it are and all of that. So it should be interesting to hear stories of real life women. Then we have Educated by Tara Westover. I've had this book forever and I've been wanting to get to it. This is about a woman who grew up in a cult in Idaho and how she got out of that. And so Educated is an account of a struggle for self-invention. It is a tale of fierce family loyalty and of the grief that comes with severing one's closest ties. With the acute insight that distinguishes all great writers, Westover has crafted a universal coming-of-age story that gets to the heart of what an education is and what it offers, the perspective to see one's life through new eyes, and the will to change it. Again, for me, education is the most important thing in this country. So not to be like, go vote, but election day is coming up. So be sure to vote for somebody who is caring about the education. Because, yeah, as I said, the education's, to me, the base of everything. And I think it's really important. So then we have I'm reading all the books that are on the long list, or all the books that I own that are on the long list for the Book of the Year prize. So we have Take My Hand by Dolyn Perkins Valdez. This is a story, a searing and compassionate new novel about a young black nurse's shocking discovery and burning quest for justice in post-segregation Alabama, from the best-selling author of Winch. So this is set in the American South, in a time period that was like just before we were alive. And I love an American Southern setting, and just especially I love those times where, as I said, it's just before we're alive. This is 20 years before the decade I was born in, to see what life was like just before and to see what life was like in your parents' childhood or your grandparents when they were like our age or whatever. Interesting to see just how other people lived in not that far of the past, but in the same like location. And then Alabama, I don't have any recent family in Alabama. Mine goes back to more the early 1900s, but still a cool setting. Next we have, this is in that same category, The Good Left Undone by Adriana my Italian. Can y'all believe I used to learn Italian? Trigani. And this is a historical fiction again. And it is Matilda, the Cabrelli family's matriarch, has always been brusque and opinionated. I can't talk today. Now as she faces the end of her life, she is determined to share a long-held secret with her family about her own mother's great love story with her childhood friend Silvio, and with dashing Scottish sea captain John Lowry McVickers, the father Matilda never knew. Oh my gosh. That sounds so good. Like, I need to read that. And then I do have a graphic novel pick as well. That is a new purchase for me. I bought it used recently, and it is Laika, which this is a graphic novel about the first being of Earth to go to outer space. It is a puppy that the Soviet Union sent to space, and she was the first living thing to go to space. Yeah, so that's the books that I'm going to be choosing between to read in November, for Nonfiction November. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it all the way through, leave a book emoji in the comments. As always, comment, rate, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!